Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Thursday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early Break, full show ahead. Mike Schaefer in studio from 7 to 8. As always, we have free wings coming in at the end of the show, Sip. I told you about that last week. We have free new smoked wings from Buffalo Wings and Rings today coming in studio.
Whoa.
Courtesy
What time is that?
It'd be about 7:50.
Perfect.
Yeah, end of the show. We'll have Schaefer try him, Jay try him, DP, me, you. Gus is gone. Gus is missing out on wings today. Gus is gone today.
Buffalo Wings and Rings, fabulous wings.
Yes, they are. They are.
They're going to get up early and do these.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
You'll eat wings whenever, right?
Yeah, well, wings for breakfast is that's good. I mean, that strikes me as natural. Wait, smoky wings?
Yep, smoked wings.
Smoky wings?
They call them smoked wings, but you can say smoky if you want to, I suppose. We'll try
Good
those
morning.
around 8 o'clock today.
Let's be on our. Let's tighten it up today a little bit. Let's tighten
Always
up.
tight. Talking to Mr. Tight over here.
Let's tighten the screws a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'm all the way screwed up here.
You are all the way screwed.
I'm screwed up for sure. You can always call or text us at 402-464-5685. Watch us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. The show, of course, sponsored by Gaina Trucking. Check out their current job openings at GainaTrucking.com. We have NFL back tonight. We'll get to the next segment. Preseason football starts tonight with the Jags and the Raiders.
The Raiders
Hall of Fame game.
Putting Devontae Adams out there, right?
Well, if he plays, it'll be for about one series all tonight.
Who else the Raiders get in the offseason?
Oh.
They got another. They got a pass rusher from Arizona.
Oh, they got
a pass.
Chandler Jones.
Yes,
Chandler
Jones. Yeah, they got
I missed
Chandler.
that.
Yeah,
I knew he went somewhere. I didn't know it was the Raiders though.
Yeah, they're gonna trot Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones out there to a team that made the playoffs last year. Chandler Jones had 17 sacks in 2017.
Yeah, I know he did.
10.5 last year.
Still pretty good.
4-6 fumbles.
That's a good player.
Chandler Jones is a big old rush end. Big old rush end.
Good.
266. 6'5", 266. Jeez. Thundering off the edge.
Yes.
In Canton, Ohio. Canton, Ohio. You know where Josh
I've been there before.
You know where Josh McDaniels went to school?
Must have been in Canton, Ohio.
Yeah, Canton McKinley. Right down the street.
I've been to the Hall of Fame.
Have you?
It was amazing.
Really?
I would recommend anybody who listens to sports or likes sports to visit there. That was so fun. I mean, it's so cool to see all those different busts of the guys who are Hall of Famers, and it's just a really interactive place.
Is it?
I went when I was like in middle school or high school, whatever it was, but I would love to go back.
Made an impression on you.
Yes, I would recommend. I think you would enjoy the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Canton, Ohio. Okay, I'll think about that.
Check it out sometime whenever you go in there on this epic road trip in your life.
Yeah, I'm running out of time.
Well,
time's wasting. Time's wasting. Speaking of time wasting,
we don't waste any time ever on this show. Ever. Not 1 second.
You're all screwed up today.
All screwed up. Yep.
Let's tighten it up. Yesterday we had problems with facts. We had problems with facts.
That's every day. I mean, come on.
No, it's not.
We have fact problems all the time.
Some days are worse than others. Yesterday we couldn't pinpoint when Wisconsin played Michigan State in Tokyo.
I didn't bring that one up.
It was my fault.
Now, I've made a bunch of fact errors too, but I did not. I didn't even know they played in Tokyo.
And then I intimated that it was a foreign game, and you kept saying they played in Hawaii.
Well, they did.
That's not foreign.
Well, listen, that you said 95. I was trying to help you out, and I looked at the schedule. In the very last game, they played at Hawaii.
I guess that's overseas.
I mean, that's a 5-hour difference of time. So yeah, there could be some jet lag there. Some problems.
But you understand that Hawaii's not a foreign country.
I'm aware it's one of the 50 states in this country. It has been for, since the 50s or 60s, 50s, I believe.
No, don't do this. Once again,
50s.
Yeah, you're going to
50s.
reveal your
1950s.
ignorance. We got to quit revealing our ignorance. You know what we need to do? Come on. This is what I'm talking about. Hold tight. I mean, don't show your ignorance card so willingly. Just if you don't know something, don't talk about it. Isn't that the way to do radio?
Well, no, absolutely.
If
not.
you
not
don't know
not
something,
on this show.
If you don't know something, don't bring it
We
up.
speculate and then we confirm or prove that we were wrong.
It's just like two old guys talking at breakfast.
Exactly. That's what we are. Speaking real quick before we move on.
Well,
speaking of being old, I'm
Yeah.
31. Okay.
Yeah.
Last night, my wife had people over from work.
Oh,
Like
God.
we were hosting
I'm
a party.
sorry. Yeah.
And they're all younger than her. I mean, she's 28. I mean, these are all
that had to be almost like being
Right.
in hell, didn't it?
exactly. You had 25-year-olds,
What were they
20-year-olds, 18-year-old, and they're playing this music. I said, I've never heard this in my entire life. Like I felt like I joke that I'm old sometimes. I felt like an old man last night. They're
I'll
playing.
bet you did.
You ever heard the band, the singer Juicy Boy or Juji?
No.
Maybe it might be Juice WRLD. I forget what it was. Anyway, regardless,
How do you even
I
listen to Juicy Boy?
Well, they had
Juji.
a speaker there, and they played the playlist.
Why? Yeah. Like, how do you buy it? I mean,
Well, you don't have to buy it. You can still listen to it like on Apple Music
Yeah.
or Spotify or Pandora.
Yeah.
I'm just saying those were the songs they
Yeah.
were playing, the bands or the singers. I said, I've never heard any of these songs. Didn't hate it, didn't love it, but felt old.
oh boy,
Felt old.
they weren't playing
Last
Dancing
night.
in the Moonlight.
No, they weren't. they were
weren't
not playing
playing-
King Harvest. They weren't playing Tom Petty. They weren't playing.
BTO.
No, that'd be corny though. Too corny for the kids.
All right, ask your question.
464-5685. I'm not trying to be negative with this. I just want to ask.
You don't have to be. I'll turn it positive.
Okay. Nebraska SIP had an offense that abandoned quarterback run game in 2017, and it failed terribly. Now, the defense was bad that year, but why do you feel like it'll be different this time around if they have the same strategy at quarterback?
Well,
We've talked that this year, Mark Whipple, it would be a surprise to see many quarterback run calls with Casey Thompson or whoever the quarterback is, right? This is going to be an offense where it's a true quarterback that can throw. We were excited about that with Tanner Lee in 2017, and the team went 4-8 and had just some awful, awful losses down the stretch. What was Mike Riley's final season as Nebraska's head coach? Why do you feel like this will look differently this year than that?
they had a pretty awful loss in mid-September that year too. If you
Northern
recall.
Illinois.
Right?
That's the game I went to, and the guy said, I'm out after the pick six, and he never came back.
That's what started the downfall. So you asked the question, Nebraska had an offense that abandoned the QB run game in 2017, and it failed terribly. Why do you feel like it'll be different this time around? Because Nebraska's got way better running backs and probably arguably better and deeper at receiver, but way better situation at running back. You don't remember 2017 evidently, because now against Oregon, Trey Bryant kind of got it going.
Yep.
He got it going. He got over 100 yards. He was good late in that game. They got hurt, right? Now they don't have anybody at this point. The next game, I shouldn't say not anybody, but think about the running back running game with a quarterback that couldn't run. Think about what they had. They started Mikhail Wilbon against Northern Illinois.
They did.
Okay. Mikhail Wilbon. He's fine. He was okay-ish. Against Northern Illinois, ran 24 times for 90 yards. Okay. Now you're looking at me like, Sip, that's not that bad. Okay. Yeah, it's not that bad if you want to go 4-8. Okay. And if you're on your home field and you're on your home field against Northern Illinois and your number one running back rushes 24 times for 90 yards. Okay. Your number two running back was Ozigbo, which wasn't the Ozigbo of the following year. This was still the developing Ozigbo. He was basically number two. That was it. It was Wilbon and Ozigbo with Luke McNitt making some appearances.
He was a good player.
Yeah. So there's a huge difference there. There's a huge difference, in my opinion. Now, you could say, wait a second, what are you talking about? That's not a proven running back room in Nebraska.
It's not.
Well, Ramir had 495 yards
Is
last
that proven?
year. No.
495 yards?
No, it's not. I'm just telling you what you got.
That's telling me it's not that strong. If that's
I don't know. See, that's where we disagree. Now, I'm basing this on potential, but also body type. I mean, depth. Just say depth. Trey Bryant had 2 bad knees. He made it to 2 games.
Yep, he did.
He made it through game 2. He had 60-year-old knees. Everybody knew that.
We did.
And then after that, it was, you know what it was? It was Wilbon, Ozigbo, and Jalen Bradley. Okay? Now tell me this bunch of well, for one thing, there's more bodies here. And they're better. They're bigger. They're stronger. They're better in a running back room. So that's different. Now, receiver, I know what you will say. They were pretty good at receiver, but it was the itty bitty committee. It was Pearson, L, Stanley, Morgan, JD Spielman, Tyjon Lindsey.
It's not a bad core at all. I mean, Tyjon didn't end up doing much in Nebraska, but Stanley Morgan was a good receiver. He was still rostered.
How many of those guys were drafted?
None, but Morgan was on a roster.
Morgan's good.
Yeah,
Morgan's good.
Morgan probably should have been drafted.
JD was okay. JD was okay, but you saw what happened to JD when he went to TCU and had to compete for jobs, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to sit here and bash JD Spielman.
I'm not going to bash him either, but I'm also not going to sit here and say that he was a great player. I'm not bashing him.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
If you had to compare this receiving core to that one, why is this one better?
It's bigger, bigger players, faster, stronger players. Looks more like a Big Ten team and less like a junior college team. I mean, that's what that team looked like, right? I mean, I'm sure
that was a bad football team.
I'm sure me and you came on the air and predicted 9 wins like idiots, like complete idiots, because we get like complete idiots. I'm sure we did.
That whole offseason, people were just ecstatic to see Tanner Lee.
Right.
Comes the golden child, a potential first-round pick. You know what? He can actually throw the football. That's what we said. This guy can actually throw. Look at his numbers at Tulane. He can throw the ball.
So we get what happens is we, and I include myself in this, is just because they're Nebraska players, we automatically assume they must be pretty good. And there were some pretty good players, but the team was 4-8. All right. And I mean, I don't know. Again, we don't know what's going to happen this year, but I like the look of the running back room way better than this one. I can't say I like the receiver group. Well, I don't like this receiver group as much as I like the running back group. But the reason I think it could be different is I think you have a group of running backs that's much deeper and better than the one they had in 2017.
We can bash all we want.
I'm not bashing anything.
Hear me out. We can bash all we want the concept of leaning on a quarterback run and saying how dangerous that is, how non-effective that could be in the red zone, which it has been for Nebraska without accurate throwing. But that offense has moved the ball for a long time. Think about Tommy Armstrong could move the ball with his legs. Taylor Martinez, Adrian Martinez. I mean, all those guys, they help put up big yardage and some big points. But red zone was tough for Adrian the last couple of years. Now, again, you're taking away a big element of what has given Nebraska success offensively, which is quarterback run, right? That's it.
Well, I don't know you're taking it away. You're diminishing it. Mark Whipple has said the words, we still have option runs in the playbook. They still have them. They're not taking it away. And Casey can run. You're forgetting what Charles Thompson said.
I know what Charles Thompson said.
What did he say?
He said that Casey can run.
He said that one of the reasons they're here is because Nebraska lets its quarterbacks run. But he's not going to be Adrian. It's not going to be like an Adrian Martinez discussion. But I would ask you this. What if Adrian Martinez were still here with Whipple? Whipple let him run. You got to let it. When you got a guy like Adrian who's 6'2" and 230 and can run. I mean, he can run. He can run with the running backs. You can put him with the running backs in running back drills, and he looks like a running back. You run him. Whipple run him. It's available in the offense.
It is.
How would you not run Adrian Martinez?
We have to. Yeah, I'm
Thank
curious
you.
how often he'll run at K-State.
Not as much as Nebraska
No,
is
they
the
won't.
answer.
Right.
But what is it? There's a sweet spot. And I just thought Nebraska didn't hit it. They overshot it. They abused him. They abused the privilege.
They did.
I thought they did. That's what I think.
Just run 25 times, Adrian.
Right.
Just do it. Just make it happen.
I mean, I can see how it'd be tempting to do it, right? If you see Adrian trot out on a football field, it's pretty impressive sight, right?
It is.
And then when he takes off running, it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Captivated.
Yeah.
It's captivating.
So I'm sure as a play caller, and you can't say this, nor can I. As a play caller, could you not push that button a little too often? I mean, do you see why you'd be tempted to push that button a little too often?
You're tempted to see, hey, this is, he just had a 75-yard touchdown run. Let's see if we can get another 15-yard run here.
And he's 6'2", 235. Now with you, okay, now, hold on now. Now you got Casey Thompson out there. Casey Thompson, who's listed at 6 foot, not 6 foot, 5'11", 195. He's not big. You saw him. Oh no, you didn't, because you weren't at practice.
I have seen him though.
Yeah, I saw him at practice, and it's pretty striking his size compared to the other quarterbacks. Now the other quarterbacks are all pretty big, but he's not. That picture doesn't look the same now. That won't be Adrian. It's a littler quarterback running out there. How you gonna run it? You saw what happened to Adrian. I mean, he got his jaw broken. He got a bad shoulder. He had lower extremity injuries. You can't send Casey Thompson at a Big Ten defense 12 times a game running the ball. You can't do it. There's no way he'd make it through the season. There you go.
I'm again curious. 402-464-5685. I want to hear your guys' thoughts that, okay, they will not completely abandon quarterback run, but it will not be by any means as big of a part of an offense as it was with Adrian.
No, not even close.
The last couple of years, which is what it was in 2017. Tanner Lee did not run the ball at all. They went purely to a non-quarterback run offense. And again, the defense was failed by Bob Diaco. That was a disaster. It was not all the offense's fault, but the offense was not good enough to help the defense out that year and overcome a 4-8 record. So I'm just curious, why do you guys feel like it'll be different this time around with much, much less quarterback run?
I don't know. The Vegas Bobcats on me. Do you listen to your own show? The Vegas Bobcat says the hypocrisy of what you have said for weeks about the QB run game or lack thereof, and now it's an option. You make a politician look consistent. Hey, Jake, now Vegas. I don't think have I said that the QB run game will be not available or something of the past?
Much less than it has been.
It will be much less, but still there. I'm just saying what Mark Whipple has said. Mark Whipple has said the words, we still have option runs, the option game in our playbook. Casey can take off running, right? He's a good run. All you got to do, Jake, you can go to YouTube very easily at your age.
Sure.
And
I can figure that one out.
Right. And watch video of Casey, and he can run. He's a good runner.
Kent says run him like Joe Gans in 2000.
There you go. I'm not joking. That's a good
Joe Gans, pure passer, but also was capable of running.
Yeah.
Capable.
Yeah. Okay. If that's Joe Gans back there, boy.
The offense is like that year. I mean, 2008 was a good offensive year for Nebraska.
But yeah. As far as using a quarterback, and splitting up how much he passes and runs, Joe Gans, that'd be good. That's what probably will look like.
We had 2 straight texts from different people that mentioned Joe Gans with Casey Thompson.
Yeah.
Josh in Chicago says this at 464-5685. I hear you mention Casey Thompson's height all the time, Sip. How tall is Joe Gans?
Gans was probably 6 foot, 6'1", a little taller than Casey.
Okay, he says, I'm pretty sure that guy was about 6 foot, and he could sling it and run at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Josh, you're right. Yeah, Josh in Chicago is exactly right. This is not me saying that Casey's undersized, okay, for a college quarterback. he's not tall though, and I think people will understand that once the games get going. Yeah, Joe's I'd say a little taller, but it's a great comparison, and how you might use.
If the offense looks like what it did with Joe Gans, I think you're going to like the product this year. That was fun to watch.
If the quarterback position looks like it did with Joe Gans, it'll be fun to watch.
He came in at 07, and then in 08. That was fun to watch, man.
He came in late in 07, slung it around when Keller hurt his knee.
Put up 70 points in K-State.
Yeah, Keller hurt his knee at Texas.
That's right.
And then Joe had a fabulous season.
He put up 51 points in a 14-point loss to Colorado.
Joe Gans did.
Joe Gans.
Yeah, I like that people are bringing up Joe Gans. Anytime you can bring up Joe Gans, I like it.
It's a very positive thing.
Yeah, he's a great kid too. He was a great kid.
Here's some feedback from more feedback from the text line. Michael in Carolina. He says this is a non-issue. A running quarterback has not gotten us to a bowl game the past few years. I'm optimistic that Casey or Chuba can develop better from Whip than Martinez from Mario.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a passer that can run than a runner that can pass.
Absolutely. It's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with all that. I do. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Joe in Boulder says that Keller broke his collarbone.
Oh, okay. That wasn't a knee injury. It was a collarbone. Thank God these people are.
They're on.
See, though, we see what we did. We're not on our screws. We have to, Jake. We have to tighten up.
I'm tight. Look at that.
Okay.
Try to tighten me even more. Okay. No, you won't do it. Derek in a car on Highway 77.
Hi, Derek.
It says,
hi, Derek.
Can Thompson's arm strength questions be mitigated with more rollout and play action?
Yes.
How many questions are there about arm strength with Casey Thompson?
He doesn't have a. Okay, if you're talking about arm strength, Richard Torres has the strongest arm of that group, and then probably Purdy. Okay, and then you get Casey can make all the throws. That's the bottom line. He doesn't have a super strong arm, but he can make all the necessary
I've always
throws.
thought that's overrated.
Yeah,
because
you like Fitzpatrick.
He can sling it.
Does he have a strong arm?
I don't know if I'd say that. No, probably not. Tua doesn't have a strong arm, but he's accurate.
Yeah, I know Tua. I know Tua doesn't have a strong arm.
This is not me bashing him with no arm. I'm just saying he doesn't have the Josh Allen cannon. But you know what? Josh Allen's first couple of years, he was not very good in the pros. He was inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
He threw picks. He was wild with his throws. He's got that dialed in now. He's very good.
Mm-hmm.
But I've told you the story when one of the Dolphins' best years of my lifetime of quarterback play was with Chad Pennington. He threw 4 interceptions the entire season with a noodle arm.
He had a noodle arm.
Because he was accurate.
He had a visible noodle arm, though.
They designed plays that he could, get open receivers. He didn't have to fit into tight windows.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a noodle arm and had like 28 touchdowns and 4 picks in the regular season.
Yeah. I'm not worried about.
If you're accurate, you can overcome a strong arm.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Casey Thompson's arm strength. Now, by the way, we haven't talked about the projected backup, Chuba Purdy. Chuba Purdy is a pretty good runner. I mean, if you could look at his past, the game he started against NC State, I think he ran for 54 or 59 yards in that game. His freshman year, you can double check that. If Gus were here, he'd double check it. Chuba can run a little bit. Chuba was a dual threat quarterback in high school. Okay. He was a top 10 ranked dual threat quarterback in high school. Now, Chuba himself will tell you, because he told me, he's not a run first quarterback by any stretch of the imagination anymore. He's a pass first guy who can run. But Chuba can run, Jake. This is not. So what are we saying? This is not Tanner Lee. All right. Do you understand?
Yep.
Do you understand? You raised the question.
But I asked you because he's not a running quarterback.
The good question. Nebraska had an offense that abandoned the QB run game in 2017, and it failed terribly, 4-8.
Yep.
Why do you feel like it'll be different this time around? Well, two reasons that will come readily to mind is this is not Tanner Lee we're talking about. We're talking about the top 2 Nebraska quarterbacks, the top 3 Nebraska quarterbacks when you throw Logan Smothers in there. They can all run. They can all run. Casey can run it a little bit. Chuba's probably a little bit better runner than Casey, And Logan's a better runner than either of them. So they have 3 guys that can run. Okay. There's just not going to be as much of it. And then the other reason I think they're well, come on, look at the run. You can fold your arms over there and cast aspersions my way. But the running back room is deeper and better now than
I just have a little doubt there. I'm not saying that I
have a little doubt too.
The room looks good, but I've seen rooms look good before in the past that didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. Whether it's running backs or other positions. That looks pretty good, but why is it not performing on the field? Deeper better this year. By the way, I talked to Anthony Grant yesterday. Yes.
Last 2 practices, he's been the number 1 running back.
Okay, there you go.
He's also the number 1 kickoff returner, as he was in 2018 for
Florida State.
The Knolls.
Your boys, your guys. We had some text coming in, 464-5685. Corey and Lincoln.
Is this our Corey?
Yeah.
We need to hear from him.
He says, people never stop bringing up Joe Gans in this state. He's gone from underrated to overrated, and I'm a Joe Gans fan.
That's a pretty astute observation. He was pretty good, Corey. He was good.
Here he says he's gone from underrated to overrated, and I am a Joe Gans fan.
He put up numbers. You can't deny his numbers. He was charismatic, too. That's another reason people like him. You remember how charismatic he was? Great interview.
Yeah. Joe Gans.
Dude, you'd want to go bowling with.
Well,
you want to go to Sun Valley and have some wings and bowl? Take Joe Gans, and it'll guaranteed fun.
Well, if you just think about when he even came onto the field in 2007, it was a pleasant sight for what was a really horrible year before that.
Well, let's not do that to Keller.
Well, I'm not saying that, but that's the Joe Gans story. Joe Gans was who disliked Joe Gans? Nobody. He was universally loved here at Nebraska. Yeah. Universally loved by this fan base, and still is.
Thank you, Corey. That's a good observation, though.
Michael in Carolina says, I still can't believe Tanner Lee got drafted.
6th round.
Didn't last very long.
And then appeared on the Jim Rome show.
He threw a lot of picks with the Jags.
And then, it was before the draft. He appeared with Jim Rome in one of the strangest guest appearances you'll ever see, right? In studio, Tanner Lee, after a 4-8 season at Nebraska. He had a fabulous agent, apparently.
Must have. Wet Blanket is here.
Okay.
Finally. Thank you, Wet Blanket, for showing up. He says, I'm confused.
Oh, gosh.
Is Nebraska's offense going to be better because of Whipple's passing game, or because the QB can run? It appears to change every day.
I'm just saying that, hey, Wet, I'm just saying it's an option. And I'm talking mainly about escapability here, right? Isn't that what we're talking about, Jake?
Yeah. You're not going to be a statue.
Right.
But not necessarily designing quarterback run.
Right. Look at
Scrambling
Casey.
Is going to be possible.
Watch Casey do drills. You ever watch him do drills on like Twitter when they put Twitter videos out? Look at the way he moves in the pocket. I mean, I think that's a lot of one of his strengths is his movement. He's really kind of a jitterbug in the pocket. He'll move around. He'll move the pocket, and then throw. Okay. Tanner wasn't really like that, right? He didn't have like real quick feet.
He was slow.
He wasn't very athletic. He had good arm talent.
Good arm. Yep.
Yeah, good arm talent.
Strong arm.
So he's a much different quarterback than Casey. Casey definitely can roll out. Definitely moves the pocket. Definitely is a threat to take off downfield. That's a great. I like that picture.
On that note, Greg in Myrtle Beach is with us this morning.
All the heavy hitters.
They're all here.
All the heavy hitters.
Where are you at, John in Des Moines? Where are you at?
All the heavy hitters.
Greg says, important difference in Thompson and Martinez. Thompson sees the chains and extends drives with his feet. He won't slide a yard too soon to force a punt.
Don't do that. Know where that first down marker is.
Slide a yard short of the first down.
Be a Rex Burkhead. Know where that marker is. Remember that? Remember Rex had a nose for that marker, didn't he?
He did. Oh my gosh, yeah.
He had a.
Tim says, you've now said Chuba has the stronger arm and is a better runner. Is the staff overvaluing Casey's experience?
It's a good question. I mean, okay. This is where you get into the complexity of the quarterback position and football in general. Yeah, you can definitely say Chuba has a stronger arm, and he's a little better runner probably, but that doesn't mean he's a better quarterback. That's decision making. That is experience. That's accuracy. Okay, stronger arm doesn't mean more accurate arm.
Exactly.
Decision making is decision making. Reading defenses, right? Marrying the concepts of your offense to the defenses you're seeing. That's all part of this. It's not like you're just going out in the parking lot at the ticket and saying, okay, who's got the stronger arm? And then let's run a race. Who's faster? Oh, there's your quarterback. No, it's not. That's not the way quarterback position works, right? I mean, you have a strong arm.
Thank you.
But I wouldn't want you as a quarterback.
Oh, come on. Damn it. I'll run the trick play, right? Yeah. Just put me in there for the trick play. I can chuck it deep.
You'd be a very bizarre quarterback. Frenetic.
Oh, God. Yeah. Listen, I could tell you that from my days playing flag football. I'd be frenetic. You don't want me a quarterback. Your team's not going to win. I might complete a deep pass here or there, but boy, it's going to be a lot of slop in between. Couple more texts before we get to break. Vegas Dave says, doesn't matter how deep the running back room is if you don't have the dudes up front.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And we haven't talked about that. I'm somewhat of I overdo it with optimism sometimes.
You can.
Yeah.
It happens.
I like the potential of this offensive line as a run blocking unit. Now here's the thing. You look at those big tackles they have mammoth tackles. Neither of those guys are particularly nimble. Teddy Prohaska is 6'10", 320, and he's coming off of a pretty bad knee injury. Bryce Benhart is never going to be confused with Allen Iverson.
No, I don't think that he will.
I mean, those guys aren't particularly nimble, so they better be able to mash, right? They better be able to mash.
That's the first time in the history and forever going forward that Allen Iverson be in the same sentence as Bryce Benhart.
They better be able to mash, and they better be able to, but they got to pass block. I mean, they got to protect Casey. I think that big one on the left side, it's just going to be hard to get around him.
Teddy Prohaska.
Yeah. Hopefully Benhart's gotten better at pass blocking.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
But you know what? They're going to find out on Saturday. They're going to find that out Saturday.
Yes, we've got a scrimmage in 2 days from
Saturday.
Now.
And I'm tempted to head over to that parking garage over
try to
get my binoculars out and see what that looks like.
They're gonna block your view now. You just told them we're gonna watch.
Nobody listens to our show.
Yeah. More next. Early break in the ticket.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Local broadcasters make a difference in their communities every day. You can learn more about becoming a broadcaster by attending the Lincoln Area Broadcasters Career Fair with 93.7 The Ticket on Tuesday, August 9th at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. Learn more about the numerous exciting jobs in broadcasting available right now here in town, on the air and behind the scenes. Bring your resume and be ready to apply. Visit the 93.7 The Ticket booth at the Lincoln Area Broadcasters Job Fair Tuesday, August 9th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. We'll see you there.
From selling a home to even building one, you're doing a lot and need a lender who can help you do it. Like Kelsey Fluhop of Security First Bank.
As a mortgage loan officer, I value my customers and work to make the mortgage process easy and even rewarding.
Mortgage lending from Security First Bank. We're the bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 505011 and 1730635.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Come see Lincoln's best lineup on and off the diamond all season long. The best seat in town, the best block party, the best outdoor bar, your best night ever. Join the Salt Dogs for Nebraska Medical Association and Lancaster County Medical Society Triple Play Tuesdays, Fairbury Brand Winter Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, and Sunday Family Fun Days brought to you by Casey's. Hit a home run with your next trip to Haymarket Park. Buy tickets at saltdogs.com.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Thank you for all the calls and texts. Well, I guess the text, no calls. Gus is gone today, so if you call, be patient with me because I'm running back and forth there. 464-5685. Keep the text coming. Rick Heyman, next segment, the song of the day.
Just got to be patient with you anyway.
Yeah, all the time. My wife says the same thing, so it's
So you guys had a party last night.
Yeah, it wasn't my party. I was just there. I was asked to participate in the party.
Were you?
Yeah.
So at least your wife didn't just leave you out.
To be there. Say, hey, hint, hint, you should probably be here for this party I'm having for my coworkers.
That's kind of nice of Elizabeth.
I
to
said,
do that.
I don't work with Sherwin Williams. Like, but you live in this house.
Yes. And you're married to the.
I'll be there.
To the party thrower.
The boss. Yeah. Party thrower, the boss.
Oh, she's the boss.
She's the boss. She's the boss.
She's the boss of your house, too.
Oh, that's for dang sure. There's no doubts there. No doubts there. Texter says, is Sip getting on the hog and going to Sturgis at all?
No, I'm working.
Can you imagine you right now?
Sean.
Yeah. Hey, Sean.
Telling the guys, tell Robin,
go
tell
to
the guys. That wouldn't be a popular.
You're doing what? I'm going to Sturgis.
That wouldn't be a popular move. That's going on right now?
Yeah, it's this week.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not. I got on the hog last night and rode to Shoemakers.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Do you think you'll ever make the ride to Sturgis in your life?
Yeah, I do. I do think I will. I think those days are coming probably more quickly than you think. Yeah, I do.
Enjoy your ride eventually.
Yeah,
your eventual ride.
Let's preview this game.
Yeah. Hey, NFL football is back. You've already had training camp starting up, but tonight, Sip, there is an actual game. It does not count. It's just an exhibition preseason game, but there's football to watch. The Raiders and the Jags. You will not be able to watch Trevor Lawrence. He is not going to play tonight for the Jags. So
No, you know who is?
Is it Chad? Is it Henny? No.
No, his name is Jake Luton.
Oh,
Jake.
I've heard that name. Was he at Washington State?
No, Oregon State.
Oregon State.
He's a second-year player out of Oregon State.
Pac-12 player.
So we'll do our little preview here. Jacksonville isn't going to play Trevor Lawrence, so you're going to see a lot of Jake Luton, who's 6'6". You'll see a lot of 6'6" because Kyle Sloter, he's trying to beat out Jake Luton's trying to beat out Kyle Sloter for the third job on Jacksonville for the number 3 spot behind Trevor Lawrence and CJ Beathard. Kyle Sloter's 6'6" too, so they're going to try out a couple power forwards,
quarterbacks, don't you?
Yeah.
You got some power forwards.
Yeah,
out there.
Kyle Sloter. Do you remember Kyle Sloter by any chance? Northern Colorado. There's no way you'd
Come
remember
on,
that.
why would I know? That's not even fair.
No, it's not.
Yeah, big fan of Northern Colorado back in the day.
Yeah, you were close on Jake Luton. You picked a Pac-12 school in the Northwest.
And I had State at the end.
Yeah.
I said Washington State. It was Oregon State.
Right.
So everything right.
So you're not going to see Travis Etienne tonight either for Jacksonville.
Who will I see, Sip?
Well, I told you, Jake Luton and Kyle Sloter.
Well, Etienne's a running back, though. You moved on to running back.
Yeah, okay. I don't know who you'll see at running back. Who's their third string running back?
Their second string running back would be James Robinson, who
right.
I believe is injured too.
Yeah, you're not going to see him either.
I don't think people really care who they see.
Here's what you're going to see. You're going to see
football.
You're going to see Raquel Armstead and Snoop Connor.
Snoop Connor?
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to see Josh McDaniels coaching down the block from Canton McKinley High School. Josh McDaniels is the new Raiders coach. First head coaching job in more than a decade. And that, when I read that, more than a decade.
I forgot he was the head coach there.
Denver.
Well, I knew that. I forgot he got hired by the Raiders, though.
Oh, did you do any preparation for this show today?
I did. I just forgot about the Raiders.
You did the rundown.
I did.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels is the Raiders' new head coach.
I wonder how Raiders fans feel about that.
Well, he's walked into a playoff team. I mean, he's got a little pressure on him, right?
You can always bring a playoff team down.
Yeah, I know he can.
Remember how we started off 6-0 in Denver and missed the playoffs still?
Yeah. Now, Jake,
it's impressive.
Jake, so think about the two head coaches in this game. Josh McDaniels is walking into a playoff situation. They were a playoff team, and they added some good players. Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's a hell of a player.
Yeah, that's a player who's had 100+ catches the last 3 years. 100+ catches the last 3 years.
There's no doubting Devontae Adams here.
The Raiders also added Chandler Jones, the pass rusher, the defensive end from Arizona, who had 10.5 sacks last year, forced 6 fumbles last year. I like a guy who forces 6 fumbles. Yeah,
pretty impressive.
I like 6 fumbles forced. He had 17 sacks in 2017. So the Raiders add Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones. Jacksonville added Brandon Scherf, Iowa boy, 8th year.
Offensive lineman.
Guard.
Yep.
And Christian Kirk.
They gave Kirk 4 years, $72 million.
That's incredible.
For a guy that is really just completely average.
Numbers not very impressive.
He was in Arizona. He was fine, but nothing special.
Yeah.
They get DeAndre Hopkins down there, and that's your number one instantly in Arizona. Christian Kirk has never won.
You're right. I looked at his stat, and I looked at Christian Kirk's numbers last night, and I was like, why is this a big free agent acquisition?
This is why I remember the day it happened. The next day I came on the show and said, I don't know what the hell the Jags are doing, but they're giving ridiculous money to guys that don't deserve ridiculous money, and that's Christian Kirk.
Well, I'll give you some numbers. Christian Kirk. Not to pick on him. I mean, nobody's picking on him. But Christian Kirk getting big money last year, 77 receptions for the Arizona Cardinals. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
982 yards is good. And that's by far his best year.
Yeah, the Jags are spending on his best year, which is not who he is.
Right. That's by far his best year. So the game, by the way, is 7 p.m. tonight on NBC.
Yes. Do you think you'll tune in for any sort of minutes at all?
I will be. I should be done with work.
It will be good to have TV on the screen. Wow. Let's start it over.
Tighten the screws.
It'd be good. Yeah, at least I caught myself there. It'll be good to have football on the TV. How about that?
I think a lot of Americans are going to be saying that tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be a lot of third and fourth string guys trying to improve, to impress their coaches to try to find a way in that final roster spot towards the end of the month. But football is football, man.
Can I give some advice to Doug
actual
Peterson?
game.
Can I give some advice to Doug Peterson?
Go ahead.
The new Jacksonville coach.
Go ahead.
Get on the plane after the game and go home with the guys. Unlike Urban. Okay. Get on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Go home with the team. Don't go to a side gig. Or side. Yeah. You went to his restaurant, Urban. And then you know what?
We know what happened.
What transpired after
Pictures.
Relatively disturbing.
The demise had set in already for Urban.
Yeah. Doug Peterson, unlike Josh McDaniels, is not exactly walking into a pressure situation, right?
No.
I mean, you can't do much worse.
I'd say this. The pressure is to make sure that Trevor Lawrence develops properly. That is pressure.
But when did you ever think you could say the sentence, you can't do much worse than Urban Meyer did?
Well, we didn't know he jumped to the NFL. Now, in college football, you could never say that. NFL definitely can.
I'm kind of interested in this game.
Are you?
Yeah,
I'm going to make sure to ask you how many minutes you watch of this game.
Okay.
I'll tune in for it. Absolutely.
Okay.
7 p.m. start.
7 p.m. No parties at your house tonight.
No parties at the house.
You have a watch party at your house tonight.
Watch party with just me.
Sounds fun.
Party for one.
That really sounds fun.
Rick Heyman's Song of the Day next on Early Break in the Ticket.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Tuesday, August 9th from 3 to 7 at the RBC Event Space, 5721 Johanna Road. We are hiring trailblazers in every department: beverage servers, slot, custodial, security, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. For information on openings and job fairs, go to warhorsecasino.com.
If your home water doesn't taste right, look right, or smell right, just call Bryant for the solution to your water problem. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
State Farm, this is Bill.
It finally got me, Bill.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes.
Oh.
Year after rim-wrecking year, it's tormented the people of this town. It got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you too.
You hear that? You ain't nothing.
You trash talking a pothole?
Yes, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for zero enrollment and $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Zero enrollment, $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this zero down deal ends August 10th.
See Club for details.
Local broadcasters make a difference in their communities every day. You can learn more about becoming a broadcaster by attending the Lincoln Area Broadcasters Career Fair with 93.7 The Ticket on Tuesday, August 9th at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. Learn more about the numerous exciting jobs in broadcasting available right now here in town, on the air and behind the scenes. Bring your resume and be ready to apply. Visit the 93.7 The Ticket booth at the Lincoln Area Broadcasters Job Fair Tuesday, August 9th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Embassy Suites in Lincoln. We'll see you there.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour. with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Move over, Jake.
I'm moving. Jeez.
Thursdays are reserved for a man with a wider range of music knowledge than Jake could ever dream of.
This is the golden era. You would hear this on any radio station. You know, it wasn't like it is now.
Okay.
You know, you got country, you got R&B, you got pop, you got rap, you got rock. They didn't have that then. You heard everything.
A man who knows a good song when he hears it, just as much as a good diamond when he sees it.
You get a diamond!
Yes, I do get a diamond. I get a diamond, and that makes me happy.
It's time for Rick Heyman's Song of the Day, sponsored by Sartor Heyman Jewelers, on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket.
I've been lied to, and I don't know why I let that mean woman make me a fool. She took all my money, wrecked my new car. Now she's with one of my good time buddies. They're drinking in some crosstown bar. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I feel like I've been
Song of the Day, Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on Rick Heyman, Sartor Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day. Once again, your Song of the Day, Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers. 464-56851 is bad. 10 is good. Text your rating on Rick Heyman's Sartor Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
That is a classic. That is not an uplifting song, but it is a classic. It's not exactly up with people. But you don't know about that reference, do you?
No.
Too young for that.
No.
Your dad and mom would get that reference.
Up with people.
Up with people. Yeah. Anyway, that
moving on.
That. Oh wow! Rick came with a classic that gets a solid 8.6. 8.6. It's not exactly my cup of tea, but I recognize the greatness.
I like the Allman Brothers.
Do you?
And they have a lot of long instrumentals. I mean, Jessica, that song itself is all instruments.
Jessica?
Yeah, it's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
There's no words at all. It's just
Is that
sound.
right?
Yeah, just music. I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
7.
Yeah, it's not really your style.
No, but I like part of it.
Yeah.
It's a 7. 8.6 for you, 7 for me. We're joined now by Rick Heyman, Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we today?
Rick, how are you out at the lake? How's the lake treating you?
I'm not out there yet. Pretty soon.
Okay, it seems like a good day for that.
It'll be a nice warm day for the lake.
Yeah. Hey, Jake, that's not Juicy Boy, okay?
or Juicy. Yeah, I don't know what these kids are listening to nowadays.
No,
I know. Listen, I'm a 31-year-old man that's like he's 75, and I'm fine with it. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, we're switching into killer songs now.
Okay.
This is a killer song in celebration of football and volleyball coming back. I guess this one is a Husker fan lament, tied to the whipping post. But we're going to move forward from here and just start really rocking it out.
Okay.
Pretty good rating. That's a song that is an acquired taste. Sip and Jake, you ought to listen to it 3 or 4 times, and then you'll get it. But actually, that was the studio version of what later would become the live version on Live from Fillmore East, which was 23 minutes long.
Whoa.
23
minutes. Yeah. And that recording garnered whipping post spots on both the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 500 songs that shaped rock and roll and Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Now, this is interesting. Greg Allman was 21 when they recorded that.
Wow.
He'd gone out to LA. He's like Gus and Harrison's age, okay? He'd gone to LA, couldn't make it. Dwayne called him, said, come back home. We're starting a band. I need somebody to sing. Bring us some of your songs, and this was one of them. He went on to later say that song came to him so fast, he didn't even have a chance to get a piece of paper. He wrote it on an ironing board cover. And he said it came out so fast, I didn't have a chance to get the paper out. That's the way good songs come. They hit you like a ton of bricks.
That is genius. That's genius.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Kenny Loggins always talks about how he when he went to bed, he'd always have paper and pen next to him because most of the songs came when he was sleeping. Anyway, Rolling Stone wrote in 2002, this is the finest live rock performance ever committed to vinyl. And then whipping post, because on the live version, some guy yells out whipping post right before they start playing it.
Okay.
So it became this thing when you would go to a concert. It's kind of like at a golf tournament, go in the hole. It was always, no matter who was playing, people would say whipping post. It's just a funny thing. And then later, Freebird replaced that. So it's just got a lot of really fun history from back in the day. Frank Zappa actually covered it at one time because somebody shouted it at a Frank Zappa concert. Well, they started playing it. That's how good those guys were. But yeah, just a great song. That B3 organ there, that was one of the things that inspired me in my musical life to play the B3. That was what I did. And by the way, we had 3 members of Up With People in our big band that traveled all over the country.
Up With People, so, Jake. Can you explain Up With People to Jake?
Please do.
Up With People was a group that traveled of young people singing positive songs around the country, and they would play pretty big venues. These guys were all real talented, all of our Up With People guys. So it was legit.
Yeah, they came to Columbus High School, Rick.
Did you go see them?
It was mandatory. Yes.
Yeah. They played it like a Super Bowl one time or something.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So with that in mind, here's some stuff for sippers.
All right. Here we go. Trivia time.
Yep. Are there any Allman Brothers still alive?
Ooh. Since you're asking, I'm going to say no.
You get a diamond.
Yes.
Dwayne and Greg are both gone.
But I want to be adorned with diamonds today, so let's keep doing this.
Okay. Is the studio version, the one we just listened to, longer or shorter than 5 minutes and 51 seconds?
Seems pretty strangely specific. Over.
Longer?
Longer.
You're going to see Z. It's 5.01.
Oh, shoot. Seems like a song that should be
You'll like.
Not a sweep today. What's next?
You'll like this. What famous singer was Greg Allman married to?
Cher.
You get a diamond.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, whoa.
Yes.
That's worth 2 diamonds,
Yes.
isn't it? 2
Yeah,
dings.
hit me with 2.
How about
Yeah.
that?
Share. I don't know if that was before or after
That's such
Sonny.
a weird. That was a weird thing to me always.
Yeah. The most interesting thing you told us was that Greg Allman was 21.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
When he wrote that or when he sang that. That's incredible.
Yeah. Amazing.
Freak talent. Freakazoid.
Any more questions? You got one more trivia question or not, Rick?
Nope.
Okay,
That's it.
All right. Well, what's going on right now at Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Rick?
Hey, it's summer heat time, but it's also summer sparkle time. Get into Sauter Heyman, check out our website, get her some diamonds. It's always a winner. Don't mess around. Go with the best. 35 years, the best of Lincoln. SauterHeyman.com. Check us out on Facebook. We've got some fun promotions coming. You're not going to want to miss it. And I'll post some more interesting factoids about the Allman Brothers on my personal Facebook at Rick Heyman.
Okay, Rick, we always enjoy it. Thank you for the time, and we will chat with you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Rick Heyman, Sauter Heyman Jewelers. Today's song, Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers.
I'm going to think about that a lot today, that Greg Allman, what you heard when he was singing, he was 21. So that would be like Harrison or Big Sky.
With that kind of voice.
Yeah, with that kind of voice and that kind of wherewithal to write a song like that. Like, that's a freak. That's a freak talent. That's Michael Jordan.
He was a freak talent.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's Magic Johnson. That's a freak.
Top of the hour with Mike Schaefer is next on Early Break in the Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for zero enrollment and $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Zero enrollment, $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this zero down deal ends August 10th.
See Club for details.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Amethyst and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Thursday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break, fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. Mike Schaefer will be with us shortly from 24/7 Sports. He informed me he is close via text, so he'll be here in studio shortly.
Okay, we mentioned this earlier. Had occasion to talk to Anthony Grant yesterday. He's been on the number 1 running back line the last 2 practices. Okay. Anthony Grant.
Yes.
The transfer from New Mexico Military Institute's 23 years old. Actually began his career at Florida State in 2018. Sat out a year. 2019. Ended up at New Mexico Military Institute, now at Nebraska as a junior. He says we'll see how it plays out. There's Brian Applewhite rotates those guys, but he said the last 2 days it's looked good. He's also prominent in that kickoff return picture. In fact, he feels like he could be number 1 on that part of the depth chart when all is said and done. Kickoff return candidates. He's back there with Winemaster. I don't know if you call that the up. I don't know what you call Winemaster's back there is more of a blocking role.
Absolutely.
They want the ball to go to Anthony Grant, or Trey Palmer is in that category. Tommy Hill, those names?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Alante Brown and Gabe Irvin. Those are the principals in the kickoff return discussion. I don't know the punt return discussion beyond Trey Palmer. I would guess would be that guy, but I don't know who's. I imagine Alante Brown could be in that conversation, maybe, but I don't know the punt return. But I talked to Anthony Graham. Got any questions?
Does it sound like to you that guys actually want that position this year?
What position?
Returner.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't.
Why would you ask that question?
Did Nebraska have a guy that actually wanted to return punts the last couple of years?
I would think so. Yes.
Or was it, hey, we need somebody back here.
No.
Can you please do this?
No, Jake, I think that's an odd question. All due respect.
We never saw much return, did we?
No,
we saw a lot of issues there. We saw fumbles. We saw muffs. We saw no gains. And
guys want to win jobs.
I want guys who are hungry for special teams.
Okay.
Not saying, I'll do
Why
it.
don't you? No,
I want
why?
someone saying, Demarcus Pearson now saying, don't punt to me.
You know
That
what
kind of
this
guy.
discussion is because we've had it. A lot of times, what was the issue? Protection.
Yes.
Blocking. It wasn't necessarily I never really thought this is on the return man as much as I did. This is on blocking. This is on protection, blocking. That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's blocking's been a horrible problem.
Yeah,
in special teams.
Another thing that struck me yesterday in talking to Luke Reimer, who's a junior inside linebacker. He played last year, the entirety of last year hurt. And those stories sort of in football, I don't know that we acknowledge them as much as we should. I know what you're going to say, or most people would say, and it's reasonable, by the way. Who plays healthy in football?
Guys are mostly banged up.
Yeah. I mean, as the season goes on, nobody's really healthy. But Reimer had a groin issue going into last year. Reimer is a player I really admire because he was productive. 108 tackles, playing hurt.
Luke Reimer's a stud. He's a great story, too. He's a walk-on, man.
Yeah, he's a walk-on. You know what he never does? Never complains.
Just does the job.
Just does the job. You never heard him talking about, I'm hurting. But his groin injury was bad enough that he had not one off-season surgeries. He had two. He had one right after the season, right after the Iowa game. And then he went down to Houston, and I think right before spring ball, and had another one. He had two. Now he's fine now, and both those inside linebackers are healthy.
He gets kind of lost in the conversation about guys who can get to the passer. We talk about O'Shawn Mathis, Caleb Tanner, Garrett Nelson. That's the dude. That's the bullet. I mean,
that's a great point.
Luke Reimer was the guy that got to the quarterback faster than anybody when he blitzed a quarterback. I mean, he gets there. He's fast. He is a bullet.
Yeah.
We talk about three guys, and we don't mention the guy that's probably the fastest of all.
Oh, I think you make a great point.
If they call blitzes for him.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, Chandler calls blitzes. He'll dial them up, and that's what you do. Now, that's a great point. It enhances that discussion we have about. I think they're going to be a good pass rush team. I mean, and we don't even mention Reimer.
Right. That dude is fast.
Yeah, Reimer can get there. And he's healthy. So I bet the speed will show more. He's not playing with a hernia or whatever, groin injury.
It would suck to play with that.
Yeah, that's what he's playing with. So, you have guys coming from the outside. You could have guys coming from the inside. I like that picture. Schaefer's here with a strange shirt on.
Mike Schaefer is here with the shirt that says, "It's a bad day to be a beer." Nothing is strange that the Cleveland Guardians are what are they out of first place? Like 2 games?
One.
That's it?
Yeah.
One game out of first?
I saw
nobody wants to win the AL
Twins
Central.
are sinking that badly? I didn't even pay attention to that.
They struggled. Don't worry, the Royals aren't.
No, I know. I'm aware.
close.
They're terrible. They're
just as predicted when we sat at that first game, and you had that excitement, enthusiasm, and
They
I
were
tried to
2-0.
warn you.
2-0 at one point?
Yeah,
They started the year 2-0, and then they finished
And then
that first series 2-2.
Schaefer put out the curse of the Royals. We went down there, put his bad juju on them, and here we are, 25 games
No
below
juju.
500.
They're just bad at pitching.
And his team is still in it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it from the front office. They didn't do anything on the trade deadline, but they're still in it.
How are the crowds?
Not large.
Not large. Weird. I don't get it.
And they got Jose still. They didn't trade him away yet. That's
For 7 more years, you can't go anywhere.
That's
So,
good. You can root for him for a while. though.
Jose.
Ramirez.
Jose
Let's say
Ramirez.
last names too.
Well, he's a first name guy. Jose in the league.
Ramirez.
Yeah,
Jose.
best player. He could be the best player in the majors, couldn't he?
At times he has been in his career. I mean, there's a stat where it's basically like him, Mookie Betts, and Mike Trout over the last 6 years or whatever for WAR. But I would guess that he's been passed up by Juan Soto and others in recent years. He's still really good.
New San Diego Padre, Juan Soto. Yeah.
Jeez, they're loaded up. They're loaded up. I mean, they have 4 big bats.
They got
in that
Machado. They got Soto. They've got Bell. This got traded from the Nationals also there. And who else am I missing out there?
Well, they have Fernando Tatis
when he's back.
Yeah.
They are loaded for sure. Mike Schaefer with
Talk
us.
football with
24/7
Schaefer, not
Sports.
baseball.
464-5685. Call or text as always. Schaefer, we are 23 days away from kickoff.
I know.
23 days away.
Frankly, scares me.
Yeah.
What are you scared about?
I'm going to Dublin.
Oh, that's what you're scared about? Did you watch a Sons of Anarchy episode or something when they go over there and Jax's kid is stolen? They have to get him back.
Oh, forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's a few years ago.
It was when the show was a lot better. It was like the third season.
Yeah. Then
it really kind of, for me, fell off a cliff.
Sons of Anarchy just got so bizarre and sort of inappropriate that
I completely agree. The first couple seasons, though, love the show.
Yeah, it was great.
Fantastic.
Then it just tried to keep topping itself,
right?
And it became sort of a comedy, like
one evil Knievel jumps something. He's got to, that's the disease of more. That's what I was looking for.
The disease of more. So they were jumping the Grand Canyon in a rocket. It just got ridiculous, right?
Yeah,
it's just that's what happened.
Yeah.
You're right.
I didn't know that you used to watch that show.
I did. I'm just like you. The first two seasons.
Yeah, the second one in particular is like its best.
Yeah,
I think
it was must see TV, and then you just watch and go, okay, what are they doing today? It was ridiculous. Are they cutting off 3 heads today?
Yeah,
right in front of you.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
Yeah, crazy.
Right.
Schaefer, I asked this question to begin the show. I want to ask you this. Nebraska in 2017, bad year for football, but that was a year that they did not really feature quarterback run for the first time in a while. And this year, I mean, they can run the football with quarterback, but it's not going to be a vital part of the offense. Why do you feel like the offense will be better or different than it was in 2017 this year?
Can you think back to 2017?
I can get back to 2017.
Can you think of personnel?
Well, that was a disaster of a year for a variety of reasons, but the one that we probably don't emphasize enough is that essentially by the halfway through their second game, they no longer had a running back the rest of the season. So that sort of changed.
That did hurt.
Well, I mean, they had guys who stepped in, but they went from Trey Bryant, who looked really good for about 1.5.
He did.
Games.
He looked really good against Oregon.
Yeah, and then you don't have him anymore.
Now you have Mikhail Wilbon.
Right, and
developing Divine Ozigbo.
Yeah,
developing.
You had Jalen Bradley, who played quite a bit that season, but there was nobody that was the same as Trey Bryant, and so they were, I think, set to kind of rely on Trey Bryant a little bit, and it just
they couldn't.
It's unfortunate because I think he would have been pretty good. I really do. I think there's a lot of excitement about him.
He was a real running back. He just had real bad knees.
Yep. Which is a not great combination for those two things. So that kind of changed the dynamic there, and they just never got a consistent running game after that. You had moments, Andy Janovich streaking to the end zone and against Wisconsin in 2017.
That was amazing.
I've got games.
You're right. That wasn't 2017.
That was 2015.
Yeah.
They had like a variety of games where they were hanging around. That 2017 Wisconsin one was they tied it on the Aaron Williams interception.
Oh
right?
yeah,
right.
Yep.
And then
there was a horrendous no holding call on a third down in the middle of the field where if he's listening to the show, Luke Gifford gets absolutely tackled by the helmet from the Wisconsin right tackle. This was back when Nebraska wasn't getting any holding calls as a team, but it allowed Alex Hornibrook to throw a shaky pass over the middle for a completion.
Okay.
And then they marched down the field with this like epic 8-minute drive.
He did.
But they should have been off by about midfield. And actually, weirdly, I don't know why the Wisconsin game for 2017's in my head. Stanley Morgan had a monster game that day, I think.
He did.
He had a ton of yards. Yeah. Nebraska struggled to get the ball in the end zone. They were able to move it all over Wisconsin's secondary, but they couldn't finish with.
Was this the game that Wisconsin just said, "Okay,
we're in the second half,
we're going to start running
after the pick six, tied it up, and they said no more.
They're
passing.
was
that Jonathan Taylor?
You might forget this, but Alex Hornibrook might be one of the worst quarterbacks you've ever seen in your life.
There it is. I will tell you this:
he won a bunch of games.
I will tell you this: he looks like Ken Stabler compared to Graham Mertz.
Well. I can't argue that.
Yeah, he does. And Jonathan Taylor averaged 10 yards per carry on the button that night. On the button.
No,
10 yards per carry.
They just fed him. Just fed him.
Yeah. Anyway, so Jake's question is why will it be different this year? And I say exactly what you said. They're better at running back this year. Well, you didn't say that, but I'm surmising.
I don't know that Casey Thompson and Tanner Lee are equivalent. I mean,
no, they're not.
We're acting like there's no quarterback design run game means that your quarterback is Drew Bledsoe and he can't move. That's
Bledsoe
not
can't
true.
move?
Yeah, he's the stock answer of statue quarterback.
Run.
That's why he had as many sacks and concussions as he did in his career.
Schaefer's right. Casey's not Tanner.
So
nor is Chuba.
I mean, those guys can at least move around a little bit, but you're taking the element of the quarterback, designed run, the Nebraska's staple on 3rd and 7 of Adrian Martinez plowing into the line looking for a crease somewhere. So that's gone. But I think there's a way that you can utilize an offense where if you have a quarterback that makes pretty quick decisions, in theory, guys should be open somewhere on the field. You just have to be able to work through the progressions, which means your offensive line has to hold up and Casey Thompson has to make the right decisions. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a 38 points a game type offense, but can they get right around 30? Yeah, I think that's doable. I think in the Big Ten West, if you can score 28 points, 4 touchdowns, you're going to win most of your games.
Yeah.
But that's been an issue.
Well, they need to get off to a good start. And speaking of that, I mean, Nebraska, Schaefer has not, under Scott Frost, won 3 games in a row ever. They've had a couple 2-game win streaks. They've never won 3 in a row. I think the expectation by most fans is they should win their first 3 games. Northwestern, if you get past that in Dublin, you get North Dakota and Georgia Southern. I'm curious, how optimistic are you that they finally get their first 3-game win streak, and it is to begin the season? And what can that do for them?
It comes down to, do you win that game against Northwestern? I mean, if you don't win that, it's really hard to find a 3-game winning streak on a schedule where if you don't beat Northwestern at the beginning of the year, would not undersell. Like, I think they're going to beat North Dakota, but the fans that go to that opening home game, that's going to be a rough game. I think people need to be prepared for that. Not because North Dakota is great, but the schedule that presents of Nebraska getting back at 5 a.m, Lincoln time Sunday, after playing that game against Northwestern, going to bed, and then starting that afternoon with meetings and everything else. Like, I don't look for the crispest game of all time against North Dakota.
That's rough scheduling.
So that's why teams take the week off after.
Yeah, it's rough scheduling.
But last year I was told that's an idiot idea. No one should take that off.
Who told you that?
Well, it was when the game wasn't being played overseas. So they didn't have remember they moved to week 1. And the whole thing is that they needed a runway of a schedule. And you don't remember this conversation now.
Fordham had Fordham in there.
Nebraska's whole season would have changed if they weren't playing Fordham in week 2 or week 1 or whatever it was. So,
well, anyway, I understand one thing, what you're saying. It's really hard to come back.
So that game in itself could be pretty ugly, even if you expect Nebraska wins it. And I do. And then, Georgia Southern's interesting, but that's a team Nebraska should be able to beat. These are all teams they should be able to beat. The last 5 years have told us Nebraska shouldn't be expected to do anything. And yet here we are talking about teams that they should be able to beat.
Yeah, I've been calling for normalcy for a long time, it seems like. I just want some normalcy. And normalcy would be beating Northwestern and then beating North Dakota and then beating Georgia Southern. That would feel something like normalcy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just begging for normalcy. And then play Oklahoma tough. And if you win, then you're set up to have a good season. That's what the plan is.
Yeah. I mean, the season has everything on the line, and I'm curious for you, Schaefer. I mean, so far in practice, the quarterbacks have all looked good in the session that people saw.
It'd be hard to look bad.
They were thrown on air in the middle of the field in the championship center.
Are you?
I'm going to hold off on anointing any of them as
It would be hard to look bad for us from what we saw. Right?
From what you saw.
Now, if they looked bad, it would have stood out.
From what you saw and what you've heard, is there any chance anybody pushes Casey for the starting job?
I don't think so, but a lot of my rationale stems from, and Steve was right there, when Mark Whipple talks, like he talks in an assumed way that it's Casey Thompson's job. Like
he does.
It's hard for me to, there's been this groundswell of, don't forget about Chuba. Right. And it's like, okay, well, I haven't, but every time the offensive coordinator talks, he talks about Casey Thompson in a way that's his assumed starting.
Well, and the way he talks about him is he always goes to the experience card.
Right.
That Casey has.
Well, and then
Casey
the other thing
starts.
Casey was there the entire spring. I mean, one of the quotes that he had just the other day was about how, some guys were at a different experience with the offense because they only had 5 practices. That would be Chubba Purdy going through the spring. So where he was at was a little bit slower than Casey when they were running their red zone stuff because Thompson had more of it installed. Thompson had more experience with it.
Yeah.
Casey Thompson's going to be their quarterback, barring injury against Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they don't have to come out and announce that anytime soon, but that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
And the context clues have led us there the most of the way.
You seemed pretty excited on Twitter the other day regarding a potential comparison for Ramir Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like it because I think Ramir Johnson can be a really interesting player without having to be, Dan Alexander or whoever we want to use as someone you think of that's just a true run between the tackles running back. I think Ramir Johnson offers them a lot of versatility. I thought the comparison to how they want to use him, not that he's the same player, but how they want to use him would be Brian Westbrook, who had a great, short career with the Philadelphia Eagles, 6-year stretch where he had at least 400 yards receiving and 40 receptions. If you're talking about 40 receptions for Ramir Johnson in 2022, I think there's a really good chance he could have 1,000 yards from scrimmage. And it may not be 1,000-yard running back as you sort of know it and what we've come to see around here. But if you can use that, and I use the Michigan game as an example where he was such a weapon for them out of the backfield as a receiver, I just think that can be a very valuable thing. And maybe that opens up you use Anthony Grant more as your traditional running back, and Ramir Johnson still gets 8 to 10 carries. And
I like it.
5 to 7 catches.
Here's why I like it, because I think they need somebody out to help the receiver core.
Well, the receiver core is not deep.
No.
Well, they have bodies.
They got a lot of guys, but
16. They have 16.
Yeah.
Do you notice though? You notice what happened? I bet you noticed, because you were there in the spring when Mickey said, "I'd like to narrow it down to 9."
Yeah.
You were there the other day when he said, "I think I want to narrow it to 6."
Yeah.
6. Okay.
And I think getting to
he
that
might
6
feel like he only has 6. All right. Now that's why I like your Ramir take.
Well, yeah.
Because Ramir,
it's a great take.
Ramir bolsters the receiving core. And he worked this summer at slot. I mean, it worked him in practice. Their summer practices aren't really, they're pretty official nowadays, right?
Well,
he was in the slot.
When he was recruited, it was never expected that Ramir Johnson was going to be like a 25 carry running back. I mean, they recruited him with the idea of the whole duck R position.
Yeah.
And getting him in space. And this is a guy that can play special teams for you. He can, he was recruited as an athlete that has the ability to be an offensive skill position player. It just doesn't have to be a set position. And I think, again, I think there's a variety of ways that you can utilize him. And then Whipple loves him because he's great at protection. He's great. Like, he does all the little things that coaches love. And that's why Ramir Johnson, I think he's going to be a big part of this team, even if he's not the guy getting most of the carries.
Me and Schaefer aren't always on the same page, but we are writing simultaneously on the page right now. That
should I feel good about this?
That's up to you to decide.
That is, the other thing we're leaving out about Ramir is he is a football player. Like, he wants to be a football player. He wants to be good.
You gotta like.
He's not a prima donna duck guy. We've seen those come through here.
I think he's a bit of a leader for that team too. I mean, because
his own way.
He's tough.
Yeah.
He goes out and he does it. I don't think he's a super vocal guy, but you don't worry about Ramir Johnson if he's out there with you. You're going to get his best effort.
He shows up and plays hard. He's from Jersey. He has that
Jersey from Brooklyn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, same thing.
Took a bus 45 minutes to go out to high school every day.
Yeah. That type of kid, Jake. He's a tough, hard-nosed. What I liked about Mike is he's not a great inside runner, but he's a very willing inside runner. Like, he'll attack the middle.
Well, that was a standout when he played against Oklahoma. You saw those first few weeks where you had really tepid guys, trying to figure out what they're doing in the line. And then all of a sudden Ramir's in there. It's like, he's just hitting wherever the hole's supposed to be. He's hitting that area.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's not so elusive that in the open field, he's just going to make things happen, but he's going to get you what he can get you.
Yeah.
And they haven't had enough running backs doing that recently.
Right. What they need, he gets what's there. They need him to go to the level where he gets more than just what's there.
We've talked about this endlessly. Scott Frost has been on a search to replace Maurice Washington for several years, and they haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, now Maurice couldn't run between the tackles, though.
Sure, but what Maurice could do is if he was
talented.
in the open field,
Yeah,
I mean, he was a threat to score every time he touched the ball.
Freaky talented.
I mean, he was
wasn't
never
a running back.
he was never a traditional running back.
No,
He
wasn't a running back.
but you were using him, in a way that you could really attack teams like Wisconsin and others that couldn't match that level of athleticism.
Speed on the outside.
If you have any questions for Mike Schaefer, please call or text 464-5685. More next on Early Break on the Ticket.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. The Millard South Patriots defeated Creighton Prep 4-3 to win their first American Legion Baseball State Tournament since 1988. After losing to Creighton Prep 8-0 and 14-0 during the A1 District Tournament, Millard South was able to meet Creighton Prep again in the state championship and claim the title. Millard South advances to the Central Plains Regional next week as the Nebraska champion. The runner-up, Creighton Prep, will also compete in the regional in Rapid City, South Dakota. Peyton Engel and Drew Miller both led Waverly to a large 17-9 win over Ogallala to claim the Class B Legion State Baseball Tournament. Engel went 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs and a pair of extra base hits, while Miller had 3 hits and drove in 4. Waverly tallied 15 hits in total. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order your Wingstop online at 28th and Superior, 50th and O Street, and 29th and Pine Lake.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Tuesday, August 9th from 3 to 7 at the RBC Event Space, 5721 Johanna Road. We are hiring trailblazers in every department: beverage servers, slot, custodial, security, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. For information on openings and job fairs, go to warhorsecasino.com.
In today's day and age, people are trying to do more and more projects by themselves. That might be better on the wallet, but it can also lead to painful sounds like this. Ow! Poor guy, trying to do wiring all by himself. Let's have another listen. It's just not worth it. Don't hurt yourself or make things worse than they are already. For any of your electric needs, call Joe at Ambition Electric today at 402-217-3415 or go to ambitionelectric.com.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
On the block with Strick and Bach.
He obviously played against MJ when he was with the Bulls. Could you tell when you guarded Wizards, MJ, that is different than Bulls?
I mean, he still was crafty. He still was very cerebral. Still had great hands. So his post-up game and his mid, all that stuff was still efficient. You know, his actual pump fake game was even more effective. He just didn't have that same first burst.
Weekdays from 4 to 6 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
We're on the air. Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Once again, Mike Schaefer in the studio this hour, sponsored by Trek CBD, 84th and Highway 2. You can always text or call 464-5685 any questions you have. Schaefer, are you aware that tonight there is NFL football on the television?
I am aware of this. It is the Hall of Fame game.
Yes.
And Jacksonville will be taking on Oakland.
Yeah. Well, Las Vegas. Don't forget, they've moved to Vegas
Oakland.
now. Or are you just
Oakland?
Yeah, they're in Vegas now.
Yeah, something like that. They're going to be the Oakland Raiders until I remember otherwise.
That's fine. I'm curious. Okay, so Schaefer, you're obviously a big NFL fan like myself. Preseason football is the ultimate tease for the actual season. Do you find yourself actually paying attention to these games, though, or not?
Just a little. Not a lot. I'm not like sitting there like really locked into any of it, but you know, if it's on, it's better than 90% of whatever else I can figure out to watch, I suppose.
All right, let's see if
it's like a side TV thing, if that makes sense. If you're in the world of multi-TV setups, it's a fine side TV.
Guardians on the main
screen.
screen.
Tonight, you'll see a lot of Jake Luton at quarterback for Jacksonville. Where did Jake Luton play college ball? I know I'm asking.
I got this wrong. I was close, though.
Jake Luton will be the starting quarterback tonight for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I honestly am drawing like a giant blank and just going to say SMU and know that's wrong.
Not a terrible guess. Oregon State.
Okay.
I
Oregon
guessed
State.
Washington State, so I was close.
Well, initially Washington was in my head, and I was running through their former quarterbacks, and I was like, that's not who it is.
So what you get in the NFL Hall of Fame game or a lot of exhibitions are guys competing for down the depth chart spots. So Luton is battling a guy named Kyle Sloter for the third job for
former Viking third string quarterback
Kyle Sloter.
Was. Okay.
Yes.
I never heard that name before.
So that would be behind Lawrence and CJ Beathard. So there's two guys battling for
Beathard's in Jacksonville.
Yeah. I told you that earlier.
You didn't tell me he was there.
I absolutely
Do you know who the coach is in Jacksonville?
Yeah, Doug Peterson.
There you go.
Doug Peterson.
Yeah.
How did you bounce back from the infractions that won Stephen Ross's
hot button topic?
This is what I said. I'm fine with it. Listen, this is a franchise, Miami Dolphins, that has been mired in crap mediocrity for 20 plus years, if not more than that. I mean, they were good in the 90s. Didn't win anything for like a championship, but they were good with Dan Marino. Stephen Ross is like, I'm sick of it. I'm getting old. I might not be around much longer. I want to win now. Let's go talk to Tom Brady. Let's talk to Sean Payton. Let's make it happen. Everyone says, "Oh, you should be ashamed." I'm not ashamed. He did it very sloppily. I'll say that. Wasn't very smart with how he tampered. I'm fine with it, man. Go for it.
How do you feel about Flores?
I used to love Brian Flores. I think Brian Flores is. There's a lot of words I have for Brian Flores, though. I'm not a big fan.
One is snitch.
Snitch would be a word I would use on Brian Flores.
Yeah, it's a bad thing that the guy whose career is being ruined
It's not being ruined. He ruined it himself. He did this to himself.
Okay.
Schaefer. He did it to himself.
If the allegations of the Dolphins going to him and asking him to lose games,
which
are true,
those were found not to be true, though. They investigated that.
Yeah, they're trying to, like, what coach is successful when he goes out and purposely loses games?
I'm just telling you, Schaefer.
I'm just saying that this guy wants to have a sustained career.
The NFL
it's acceptable that he takes issue with an owner asking him to lose games.
They found no evidence of that being
If it's true. If it's true.
They found tampering with Tom Brady to be true and Sean Payton to be true, but nothing with Brian Flores and the claim that he was offered $100,000 to lose every game.
It would look really bad for the NFL if they could ever prove that.
True.
And if they could prove it, I'm sure they'd find a way to not prove it.
Flores.
I just don't know if you're an NFL franchise out there and you are curious in Brian Flores.
Would you hire him again?
How can you hire him right now? What if he does this
Would
on the
he
way
get
out
hired again? That's the question. It'll be very interesting to watch that.
I think he'll have another opportunity somewhere.
Head coach?
Yeah.
I think he's a fine coach. You guys know I was pissed the day they fired him. What I've found out since with all this stuff has upset me regarding him.
Yeah,
but I think he is a fine football coach. But he also is difficult to get along with, from what I heard. Like he always disagree with management.
I feel like this is a common trope of every head coach ever.
But he decided to go AWOL on the way out of Miami.
Interesting. It's a very interesting discussion going on in Miami.
Well, none of this has to do with the fact that you don't have a first-round pick in 2023.
We do now. We have the Niners' first-round pick.
Well,
thank you very much. We had two.
You had two.
We had two.
So your trade value in case Tua goes bad is gone down.
Right. And they still have second-round picks, I believe, but they lost their third-round pick too.
If Tua keeps underthrowing receivers that run fast, he'll be out of there.
Well, he's not going to.
It's a big year for Tua.
You still believe in him?
I was high on the Tua train. I am tepid because I like going and getting another weapon. I just didn't feel like Tyreek Hill was. I mean,
what you didn't feel like Tyreek Hill was what?
I think investing in a diminutive wide receiver whose biggest asset is his speed as he ages is not the greatest recipe.
I think you're just jealous that the Vikings didn't get him, Schaefer.
I'm happy with Justin Jefferson. I'll take Justin Jefferson over Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I like Jefferson too.
Would you take Jefferson over Tyreek Hill, Jay?
Give me the younger, bigger
conversation.
You know, he's not faster, but he's not slow.
Jefferson has a higher ceiling because he's got way more years ahead of him than Tyreek Hill does. But Tyreek Hill is still very, very good.
Hill has Hill been injury prone at all?
No, he is not.
He's a littler guy.
On wood now. You knock on wood right now, because I don't want if that happens, we're dead.
No, you're not dead.
The Dolphins did draft a receiver.
We are not dead.
The Dolphins did draft a receiver. It's a 6'4" body, Eric Ezekanma from Texas Tech, who had drop problems in college, which I think were overstated. He had only had 4 drops last year, so they say he had drop problems. He had 4 drops. Is that drop problems?
No.
So far, he has been excellent.
4
in training.
That's right.
You were listening to the Splish Splash podcast, the Dolphins fan network.
Yes,
Splish Splash podcast.
Splish Splash with Sorensen.
You guys can hate all you want. Just see us in the playoffs.
Jake is going to have a very interesting football season, as you know, because his quarterback's back is against the wall and the Nebraska coach's back is against the wall. Tua has to perform.
And Jake lives his life like his back is against the wall.
So
honestly, he should feel pretty good about it.
It's going to be pretty interesting.
Join the party.
I would say it's going to be. I know. I think it'll be an interesting study because the Tua thing will be almost as interesting. Not almost as interesting, but still interesting.
Well, it's you're not blowing up the franchise.
Will the Dolphins or Nebraska win more games?
Well, the Dolphins have more games.
Yeah, they have.
So you have 17 games.
But it's also a lot harder to win games in the NFL.
The Miami Dolphins will have more wins than Nebraska easily
because you feel like they could be 9 and
they could win 11 games, 11-6.
Okay.
That's a 17.
Anyone could do anything.
I feel like they're going to win 10 to 11 games, 10 to 12 games. Sorry.
So Dolphins is a resounding answer.
I don't see Nebraska winning 10 games this year.
Ooh, that would.
But I could see the Dolphins winning 7 games this year. And you could probably see Nebraska winning 8 games this year, even if it's not the most likely.
The Dolphins
scenario.
only won 7 if Tua gets hurt, and they got to go to Teddy Bridgewater, who I don't think is very good.
I'm just saying, it's out there.
The Dolphins will have more wins by far than Nebraska.
You know what?
By far, he says now.
You're pretty well set up behind Tua. I mean, Teddy's.
Right.
Teddy's a good backup.
Unless you got to make a tackle on an interception he throws. Ole, see you later.
It's not his job. His job is to prevent the interception.
Well,
That's
he threw
where
it, though.
failed.
But he threw it,
The,
though.
the
So you
tackle is a non-issue because he had already turned the ball.
Well, you can at least prevent it from being 0 for 2 on the play with the pick and a Ole.
I'm not getting into that conversation. But I will say you got a good backup. You got a good backup, which a lot of NFL teams can't say. Would you say C.J. Beathard's a good backup?
He's fine.
Pretty good.
Fine.
Pretty good.
Fine.
I'd feel okay about it.
I do too.
I wouldn't feel great if he had to start 5 games.
Who do you
but
like
I feel
better?
Okay about
Who's
it.
a better backup, Teddy or Beathard?
Teddy, by
Exactly.
far.
Right.
Like
Yes.
it's not close.
Yeah.
As far as being a backup quarterback,
I don't know who the Raiders' backup is.
Well, their
Who
starting
we
quarterback
see-
is Derek Carr.
I know that. Who comes in for?
It was
Who-
Mariota.
Oh no, Mariota's with the Falcons now, though. He's
Okay.
with Atlanta. He's going to
Who
start.
will we
with
see
Atlanta.
tonight for the Raiders? See, I did what I always say we shouldn't do is bring
Ask
up
a question you didn't know the answer to.
Yeah, me and Jake do that way too often.
We
on this
should
show.
know this. This should be something that's
You
somewhat
know,
obvious.
you should. You normally have your person that runs the
Gus.
board or whatever.
Gus.
You could get another person whose entire job is to just Google whatever it is you're talking about and provide you stats on a whiteboard.
That's not a bad idea.
That's what they have with PTI.
Jarrett Stidham, Nick Mullins are the quarterbacks.
It'd be Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins is the backup.
He's got the most experience.
Yeah, former Niners backup quarterback.
Okay, Nick Mullins.
Yes.
And Stidham played at.
I feel better about Beathard than I do Mullins.
Stidham played at
Auburn.
Wasn't he somewhere before that though?
He was.
Baylor,
Where was
he at Baylor?
Did it again.
I think he was at Baylor.
It was Baylor to
Yeah,
Auburn.
because I think something
See,
happened.
I had that one right. Yeah, Baylor
Yeah.
to Auburn.
Yep.
Thank you. Before we get to the game show, Schaefer, Ashley Williams decommits. Now he's with Auburn. Any update of what happened there?
I mean, I've said this on a few different radio shows. I think Nebraska's communication in terms of recruiting has to be a little bit stronger in the sense that you got to be on the same page. And it was obvious to me that they had some coaches who wanted Ashley Williams and other coaches who were apprehensive on it. And so, and then you want to figure out your board. You have not necessarily a finite amount of spots, but you have a plan as to how many outside linebackers you're going to take. And so if you have Cameron Lenhart higher than Ashley Williams, and that's kind of the focus, you're only taking 2, then that's sort of how it seems like it played out. Again, I think a lot of it stems from they just have to have streamlined kind of focus and communication on this is what we want to do, because it's just it's bad for the kid because you have all these people, I think, that are acting like he was out there shopping his services around for more money and all these other things. And I think if Nebraska was open to Ashley Williams, he'd still be committed in the class.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, game show time now. I'm right at 500.
Let's play it. 464-5685. Call the takedown sip
You
and
were
trivia.
like 11 games up at the start of the summer.
He was 8 games up at the best, and now he's back to 500. Don't give him 11. Don't give him 11. It was 8. You know it was 8.
Well, that would make the collapse even more,
It's epic.
It's been pretty
typical. He's 1-2 this week. So
How do we get you to lock back in?
I don't know. I don't know what's going wrong.
Throwback Thursday as always, but it's not really that throwbacky. I mean, tonight you've got Jags Raiders in the Hall of Fame game. So how about some
1933 NFL
Jaguars and Raiders trivia?
Okay.
How about that? Ready for that?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 464-5685.
Jaguars trivia should be great.
Yeah. Shut Up Simple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, Gus is gone, so I don't have the name of the person over there. So I'm going to ask them who it is.
Potluck?
Yeah, how about this?
Just
All right,
potluck.
you can hear us on the phone line. Who do we have here? Oh, God, nobody.
Potluck. We
All
got
right,
a bad
let's try it
potato.
again, just if you're tuning in, Gus is not here, so I don't have a producer.
Let's just go potluck.
So if you can hear me on the phone line, state your name. Who do we have here?
We got Bill.
Bill.
Bill's ready to go.
Bill, do you feel good about Jaguars?
Not Phil this time. It's Bill.
Bill. Okay. Bill.
Correct.
Okay. How do you feel about Jaguars and Raiders trivia, Bill?
Let's go.
Okay.
I like it. Let's do it.
I didn't know there was Jaguars.
In other words, not good.
Okay. Not good for Bill. All right. Let's see how it goes. Schaefer,
I got
our
Schaefer.
lifeline for one question for always for Sip. Here we go. Bill, first question goes to you. What quarterback leads the Jags all-time in passing yards with 25,000 plus yards with the franchise?
I'll say Brunel.
Mark Brunell is correct.
I had it.
Schaefer, you had that one?
I was trying to think of other notable Jaguars quarterbacks that would have played anywhere long enough to have that many passing yards.
I was thinking Gerard, but something about Brunel.
Yeah,
popped out.
I believe Bortles is second, actually. And
Blake
then Gerard after
Yeah,
that.
all right.
So that's number 2, Blake Bortles. All right, 1-0 lead for Bill. Sip, first question. Schaefer's in play. What quarterback leads the Raiders in all-time passing yards with 31,700 yards and touchdowns with 193 touchdowns?
I'm going to make this harder than it is. Gannon.
Rich Gannon was very, very good for a time with the Raiders, but not long-term.
Then I should have guessed the obvious.
Okay. Bill, do you want that one? Or do you want to pass?
I'm going to say Stabler.
Oh, went back to all square. Schaefer, you got a guess on that one?
For Raiders passing yards?
So it must be the only other. There's only one other one, right?
Who's that?
Would it be Plunkett?
No, it's Derek Carr.
Oh,
The
it's
current
Derek
quarterback.
Carr.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there trying to think if like he'd have enough seasons to put up that kind of number.
He's by
The
far
hard
and
thing with
away.
quarterback passing yards is there's been such a jump that,
Yep.
2,500 was like normal for a while to now 5,000 isn't out of the question for a single
Derek Carr
season.
has by far the most
we're even.
touchdowns and yards. So back to even because Bill went for it. So, all right, Bill, back to get your 1-0 lead back. Here is your last question. What kicker leads the Raiders franchise in all-time scoring with 1,799 points?
I believe that would be Janikowski.
Seabass Sebastian Janikowski. Successful first-round pick. Very
He's
odd.
Seminole.
First rounder.
Yeah, very strange, but
Seminole.
that's right. You would have had that one?
Oh, God.
All right, Schaefer's in play here, so use him correctly to tie this thing up. AKA use him.
Fair.
Use him. All right, Sip.
Extremely condescending.
Fred Taylor leads the Jags in all-time rushing yards, but what running back leads them in all-time touchdowns with 68?
Can we confer?
Sure.
The only one that would make sense to me would be Leonard Fournette.
That's it. Guess. Go. Bam.
Is that the guess?
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette?
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I got it.
You forgot one. Maurice Jones-Drew.
Maurice Jones.
Mojo.
Drew, come on.
It's okay.
Mojo
I wouldn't have gotten
is
it.
the man.
I wouldn't have got Maurice
Fournette
Jones.
was third or fourth when I said. Mark Brunell was fifth all-time in touchdowns.
Really?
Rushing touchdowns. Yeah, the quarterback.
Interesting.
Congrats to you, Bill. We'll get you Bagels. Thanks for calling in and calling down the road.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Good job,
Up
William.
there, Bill.
It's
Not
easy to overlook Maurice Jones-Drew because he's about 5'6", right?
Yep. He is.
But
But he was
little
good.
running
He was
back.
good
He's tough little running back. Yeah, we have guests in the house.
we do.
What do we have coming here?
We have got a special wings for breakfast. You kidding me? Yeah. Wings aren't just for lunch or dinner. We got wings for breakfast coming in, courtesy of our friends at Buffalo Wings and Rings. Michael Barton will deliver the wings to us next on the spillover on Early Break in the Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. Summer is here, and that means you're having garage parties with neighbors, hitting the golf course and the pool. The drink of this summer isn't your typical seltzer. It's drinkable Delta 8. Yep, Trek CBD has drinkable Delta 8 seltzers with mango and lime flavors for 4-packs, 12-packs, coming in a variety of mango, watermelon, lime, and berry. They also have hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups to put in your beverages, and as always, the excellent Delta 8 gummies. Trek CBD at 84th and Andermatt and TrekCBD.com. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for zero enrollment and $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Zero enrollment, $24.99 a month.
Hurry, this zero down deal ends August 10th.
See Club for details.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our
Casino.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, sunny and another hot one out there. White winds also in the forecast. We'll see an afternoon high of around 95. Clear skies tonight, the low of around 67. And tomorrow, sunny skies, another hot one out there. Breezy conditions, though, tomorrow, too. We'll see an afternoon high of around 99. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with games. We have all our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. We're on West O. Check us out at PriceRightAuto.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.58 per hour. And other select jobs is starting at $24.28 per hour, with wages growing up to $30.30 per hour. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This
I tend to come home and just start ravaging food like a coyote.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Have you ever had wings for breakfast? Have you, Sip?
I'm going to say no.
But have you ever thought about it?
I think about it all the time.
As you should. Because right now, we are about to have wings for breakfast, courtesy of our friend who's in studio, Michael Barton of Buffalo Wings and Rings. Good morning to you, Michael.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Thanks for coming into the studio.
This is why this happened. So I'm friends with Michael, and last week Michael was.
This is why it happened. He's friends with Michael. Stop
story.
story.
Michael brought in. He put a Snapchat out about a wing at Buffalo Wings and Rings. He said, "What is that?" He says, "It's a smoked wing." I said, "Oh, hello." And I said, well, we got to try that. I said, well, you want me to bring it on air? I'm like, yeah. So I guess, Michael, without further ado, tell us exactly the new flavor, what all about it, how it came to be. What do we have here in studio with us today?
Yeah, it's our smoked wing, rolled out finally on Monday. It's been
Monday.
It's been a year in the process, but they
a year.
They've been testing it for quite a while. I think they finally got it right. The smell is what gets me 100%.
Yeah, the smell's incredible.
It comes a little different. You're used to, coming to Wings and Rings and getting a whole bunch of sauce all over these. These where you're going to leave sauce off of them and give you a dipping sauce, typically barbecue, which is what I brought you guys today.
Thank you.
But you can pick any sauce you choose. If you like them hot or spicy, you can choose to go, the Buffalo Atomic or the Ghost Pepper Ranch, or my favorite is sticking with the barbecue. So that's
you know what, Michael? It's comforting to hear you say that this is a year in the making. That is how much.
Not a rush job. It's not rushed.
That's a lot put into this.
Yep.
So the recipe is literally a year in the making.
It was, yeah. That they started testing them about a year ago.
Well, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, Schaefer's already dug in over there.
Yeah.
Schaefer, any initial
It's
thoughts?
juicy and it is good.
Your first wing experience for breakfast is solid, huh? I told Schaefer, so I texted him last week. I said, hey, man, you down with having some wings when you come on? He's like, yeah, duh. What kind of question is that? Of course we'll have a wing.
No.
Yeah. Sip?
Yeah, it's fabulous.
He's got food in his mouth.
It's fabulous.
Yeah,
I can talk with food in my mouth. I've done it my whole life.
It's a staple of his life here. So how many wings flavors do you guys have now? Do you guys know?
Oh, we're up to about 26 or so.
26.
One of the because we do a few of our sauces a little different, about 6 or 8 of them that we can do from mild to atomic. So that's one of our big staples is you can pick heat levels to some of those sauces.
You know why I like this, Jake, and you know me well enough. Michael, I've come to your place a lot. I've come to your shop a lot with my grandson.
Frequent flyer.
And I like
definitely.
I like wings, and I get the same one every time. Now I have another option. I get the Cajun dry rub because I don't like messy wings. I don't like being a mess.
And there's a little Cajun in there for you.
Hello. How
Tastes
about
good.
that?
Yeah.
How about they're really good.
So what's the process like? Most is this different for making these in other wings? How's it go?
Sure. So I know it's called smoked. It's a liquid smoke. So we're marinating them, but we still fry them. But it's marinated for 24 hours. Yeah.
It's a process, Jake. They prepare. Unlike
hours.
you for this show, they prepare their wings.
Yeah. There's more preparation than me for my own show. I love it.
Yeah, I heard him earlier talking about televisions on screens.
That was a mistake. I quickly said that was a mistake. I said there's going to be TV on your screen, and I said, there's going to be football on your TV screen. I heard it right away. I corrected it.
You caught that. I did.
It was fine. So it's good. Anything else new at Buffalo Wings and Rings? Because you guys always break out like new stuff all the time, which is great.
We're still carrying forward our chili or a corn queso that we have out that's been really good. So that's going to be a staple for us. But outside of that, we're really focusing on wings this month. And really focusing on pushing our new smoked wings.
Well, you're pushing them well today because you pushed them on us and they're fabulous.
Yeah, Sip's already devoured.
I got one more coming.
You got 2 down. Schaefer's
I got one more
down.
coming.
There's more boxes over
No.
there.
Yeah, we'll give those to our friends here at the studio.
We have
just
friends
started the
coming.
second. I don't feel any need to rush the experience.
Yeah,
so.
It's your first time having wings.
And I bet Jake,
super juicy on that first bite, by the way, both times.
See, I do the wing thing. I bet I'm like a lot of people where I'll go through my first pass on wings, but keep them on my plate and then go a second round. Eat it all, like almost the whole bone. Isn't that what you do?
And I don't normally eat the bone, but
yeah, but
that's
kind of weird.
I don't eat it all.
Do you eat part of the bone?
No,
he gets to where he feels good about the first wing, sets it down and runs through, and then checks to see what he could,
Yeah,
he's checking his work kind of thing.
Yeah,
seeing what's left.
There's some scraps still left on there.
Correcting some errors.
Isn't that what people do, Michael? Yeah.
We know when Sipple comes in. Normally it's Sunday nights.
Yeah.
But we know we don't have to clean much of his plates because he takes care of it.
Same thing.
That's nice of you.
Thank you, Michael.
Take care of the...
Yeah, and your servers have been great. And then they came to know what I wanted. And it was fabulous. I got the same thing every time. I order extra celery, 2 tubs of ranch.
You eat all the ranch, all the tubs.
Sounds like we have similar wing experiences.
It's all right. Yeah. Yeah. They were great. And your margaritas are kind of underrated. I always like those margaritas.
Well, yeah, you're a margarita connoisseur. You would know all about that. I'm curious. So football season's here. How much does your wing? Like, how many? You guys probably sell a crap ton more wings these next 5 months.
Crap ton.
That's a standard metric.
That is how we met.
It is a
If
standard
you talk
metric.
to our cooks, that's probably accurate.
Yeah, see, I speak the lingo of the people in the restaurant.
Yeah, so they're probably right. No,
Jake
it
Whitman
definitely.
crap ton.
Yeah, we're trying to get better about looking things up around here.
Yeah, well, the research what a crap ton is. It's a real thing.
It definitely goes way up, especially coming Saturdays, Sundays. The nice things for us at Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. I don't know how many people are going to come out tonight to watch the
Hey, they might show up. It's the first game of the year, man.
NFL games, but it's one of the few games we'll probably get on TV because a lot of those preseason games aren't on national TV and aren't included in the tickets. So.
Yeah, and a quick plug: if you want to watch all your NFL games or college games, Buffalo Wings Rings has a million TVs.
It's a great place.
Literally a million TVs.
It is really a strong setup. I'm always impressed by it.
A lot of screens to watch your television.
There are, and I will tell you this: I sometimes will have requests, and they're always good about it. Your people are always good. I'll say, "Hey, can we get that NBA game right on that TV?"
Yeah.
And they get it. They do.
You go to some places and it's like, oh, we have to check this and we have to do that, or they're like, yeah, we'll do it, and then 45 minutes pass, the game basically is over, and it might get flipped over.
I've never had that experience at Buffalo Wings Rings.
And the nice thing for that is we have 42 DirecTV boxes for all of our TVs,
Well,
so we can change whatever we want.
I just know from being over there for March Madness, being over there for NFL Sundays, like if there's a game on, it's on in there. So you might have to search a little bit to find the specific game that you want if it's not one of the big national ones, but you're gonna find it.
Buffalo Wings Rings was part of one of my absolute favorite sports memories of my entire life. Sip's aware of this.
I know where this is
going.
going.
2018.
So like the Dolphins winning a meaningless game for them.
No,
but,
it was not meaningless at the time. They had a chance at the playoffs.
This
This is the Miami Miracle where Tannehill finds Devontae Parker, Kenny Stills, and then Kenyon Drake goes all the way for the distance. I think I broke 10 people's hands that day in celebration. If you heard like any sort of noise at 70th that area, it was me. I was the one shrieking.
You're shrieking.
You're
shrieking. You're admitting on the radio
screaming,
right now. Yeah.
shrieking. Yeah, I mean, I shrieked during that moment. So I guess it's a good luck place for me in terms of my teams. I've seen a lot of winning. When I go to Wings and Rings, the Dolphins usually win.
That was a great moment for sure. You played it all the time in here.
I did.
It was
I
fun
can
to
play
watch.
it again. I can play it again.
Kenyon Drake turned on the Jets.
He did. Yeah,
He did.
Rob Gronkowski was playing safety for some reason.
Yeah,
for the Patriots.
He just ran by him like he wasn't
Tannehill
there.
could throw it 95 yards in the air.
What I learned from that is Kenyon Drake is seriously fast.
And he's now a backup in the NFL somewhere. He's been bouncing around. Raiders, Cardinals. That's what he is.
He was with the Cardinals. I don't know where he's at.
So just to refocus
wings.
here. Yeah, we got smoked wings. These are brand new. They take 24 hours to marinate before you actually have them. So they prepare these for you when you go there. Buffalo Wings Ring, 68th and O, also at 40th and Old Cheney. You want to go check that one out as well.
Took them a
Smoked
year to finalize the recipe. That's that just is comforting. It's big time.
Yes.
And that's what these wings
and they're
are.
not done yet. More to come in terms of new product all the time from Buffalo Wings Rings. So the best place to watch the games in town. Husker games, you guys get pretty packed for?
We do.
Yeah, they do.
It's nice for us too. We're lucky, especially on 68th and O, that they're the bus runs right by Gateway to the stadium. So we see a lot of people before and after games that are going to the game. So it's nice.
That makes sense.
Another thing about Buffalo Wings Rings is the parking's fabulous. I never have trouble finding a place. And I like that. That's a big thing for an old man. You don't want to mess around with parking.
That's a nice thing for you to.
Steve Sipple here for spacious parking. A spot for you, a spot for me, a spot for Eddie.
That's pretty good, Shay. I couldn't have said it better myself.
You'd be a good person for that. Good, spokesperson.
Okay, well, let's
spacious
think
parking.
about
We'll
that.
talk about that.
I don't know who's
What
gonna pay
parking
him for
lots
that.
needs, a spokesperson.
Yeah. Okay. Once again, smoked wings, Buffalo Wings Rings. Michael Barton here with Buffalo Wings Rings. 2 locations: 40th and Old Cheney, 68th and O. We do a lot of events at 68th and O. We've done March Madness there. We've done Super Bowl there.
Great.
We have great times. It's a perfect setup. Great event spot.
That's where we see the Baldwin Shop guys.
Oh yeah,
and
Chris from the
Corey.
Baldwin Shop. Corey stopped.
Corey's been in there. We have our people come in for your events. And it is great there.
Yeah,
great.
I guess last question, Michael. I mean, you obviously the man with the franchise. If you had to tell listeners your favorite flavor. Is smoked
Okay.
wings up there? What's your
It's there
go-to?
now.
That's
It
number
is
one.
that, yeah, for sure.
What was it previously?
Probably teriyaki wings.
Oh, yeah, those are good, too.
Is probably my favorite before this, but these have probably been my favorite item that Wings and Rings has rolled out since we've been involved in 2013.
I'll be back.
We will have these for sure. Encourage you
I
guys.
already told my grandson about this.
About the smoked wings?
Yeah, now he's working. We don't see us quite as much because he works from 3 p.m. to 11 now. But we have Friday. I think we're going to be in there, so be ready.
I'll be ready.
Be ready. Make sure we have a table ready and bow down.
We want a parking spot. We want a table.
You don't have to bow down.
No bowing.
That would be strange.
All right. It's been fun. Thank you again for bringing in the wings. Smoked wings, brand new. Check them out, both locations in Lincoln. Also, they have a variety of other good foods there. And SIP is an advocate of the margaritas at Buffalo.
Yeah, they're
Wings and
good.
Rings.
Yeah, they're refreshing.
Lots of beers, a lot of specials, all that good
They
stuff.
got some snap to them. They do. I'm not joking.
Michael, thanks for stopping in.
Absolutely.
Schaefer, thanks for stopping by.
That was wonderful.
God bless you all.
SIP, see you tomorrow. Old School's next. See you.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong